All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel, guys. It is time for a review, so let's say hello to Ren, Stimpy, Powder Toast Man, Login TV, and let's get started. Also, let's say hi to Zach from Zach Stuff, because I'm about to review a Benchmade knife here, the Osborne Auto 9400. Zach is the biggest 940 Benchmade fan on the earth. This one actually comes from David Iverson, big viewer of the channel. Actually, I've got 4 Benchmades from David we're going to check out over the next couple of videos. Yeah, pretty excited about that. I think it's 4. That sounds right. But anyway, I'll update you in a minute when I remember how many of them there are. So that's what we're doing, guys. We're going to review these, and here we go. And so this is the Benchmade 9400. You guys know I've already done a review on a Benchmade 940 that was in carbon fiber from our friend Keith, the Knife Freak. This is the 9400 because it is an auto, and as you can see, it is not an access lock. It is a button lock or button deployment, I guess you would say. You do have green. By the way, these are users, David's knives, so if they're a little scuffed or whatever, that's why. And I haven't carried them much, I'll be honest with you, because, they're still not quite legal in my state, so I've been just carrying them around the house. This is an aluminum scale with that classic green, and then you got the purple aluminum backspacer and the lock, and there is your button. There we go. There's your button assembly in there. You do have a nice rounded chamfered ringed button there. All the screws and hardware are, countersunk. Wow. You do have this really interesting, typical Benchmade 940 milling here, which I think makes for really good grip. And you have the small deep carry clip. And it looks like a standard small Benchmade clip. So you do have the butterfly logo with 9400 there, USA. And then on this side, you have Osborne, who's the designer, and you have S30V. It looks like we do have a stop pin back here on the back. And let's go ahead while we're open and check out Lockup. So there's a little bit of wiggle in this one. I don't remember on the 940 that I had if it had wiggle, but this one's got a tiny bit of wiggle, but it's not going to unlock. As far as centering, dead on. Really cool. I like this milling. It's just nice. So let's talk about that in hand. So, you kind of have a ramp back here on the handle. This to me is probably the most comfortable grip on this knife. You do feel that pocket clip, but I don't really think I'd call it a hot spot, but you do feel it. You can get up here, and as a matter of fact, if you do that and back up a little bit, you kind of lock your thumb into that right there, and that feels really, really good. You don't really have a place to choke up unless you're brave. Stay off that blade, folks. You do have a sharpening choil. Nice satin. Well, is this stonewash or satin? What is that? It looks like there's a stone. Hold on, I'm going to look at the specs here. Oh, you got to confuse me, of course. Blades. This is, well, it doesn't say. But I'm going to call it, I'm not going to say it's satin. There's definitely a stonewash going on there. It's a little nicked up, so it's hard to tell. There's stonewash. You can see it. And this is satin up here. Very, very cool. So you do have this really awesome 940 swedge here and sheep's footy looking blade here. All right, here we go. Action time. You guys, whoa. Okay. Right now it's locked up and doesn't want to close. Oh, you know why? Because I locked it. Duh! Okay, fine. I'm like, what did I do to David's knife? It's because I had pushed the lock. So it locks open and it locks closed. I did not realize that. And I didn't realize I had hit the button. So there you go. All right, so action-wise, very good. The lockup is instant. It doesn't matter if you're still pushing the button, which is great. And then, of course, on the closing, you push the button You push it in place, you let go of the button, you hear it click, and you got good lock up there, and then you can lock it shut. So good to know. Lock shut, lock open, either one. So you can lock it open, and now you cannot actuate the button to let it go. Very good to know. Very good. All right, let's do a comparison here. I don't own a 940, but I do own a 945, which is the newer, smaller version of the Osborne. This is the mini Osborne. So there you go. You can see the mini Osborne. Let's move it. Well, it was better back here. You can see you got maybe half to little, maybe 3/4 of an inch and half to 3/4 of an inch back here. The specs on this one are 3.40 blade length. The blade thickness is 0.115, so 0.11 on that stock, guys. That's why the 940 is so popular. CPM 30V, 58 to 60 on the hardness there. It is a reverse tanto, or I would call it a modified reverse tanto, which I would just call it a sheep's foot, but whatever. 2.65 ounces, and it is a 7.87 inch overall knife with a close length of 4.47, handle thickness of 0.43. So again, very, very thin. 2.65 ounces because of that aluminum. Very, very nicely done. Let me shut this guy and put him over here. Now, obviously, no thumb studs, no anything like that, because your deployment is the button with the spring in there. Very, you can see action-wise, bam. I mean, this guy just flies out of there. Let's see if I can one-hand this one. I mean, yes, I would rather two-hand it just because I don't want to lose a finger. And that's just me. I'm weird. But there you go, the Benchmade 9400 auto, and pretty cool. Again, I've always liked the size of this one, but I didn't really have one in hand until very recently. But it's thin and it's not tall. So even though it's a bigger, longer knife, like I said, overall length is almost 8 inches. It doesn't feel really big, and it carries in the pocket. I did try all these in the pocket. Very slender. You can get your hand down there nice and smooth. No problems with that. So there you go, guys. The Benchmade 9400 from our buddy David Iverson. David, thank you so much for sending this one along for me to check out. Guys, give David a thumbs up, or me, and give a comment down there. Let me know what you think of this one. There's our comparison knife. We'll just put that back here. And, let me know what you think, guys. More autos coming up. I talked about autos, and suddenly autos were falling from the sky, and people sent me all of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you so much for your support. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so and sticking around and watching some videos. And thanks for watching the KnivesFAST channel.